Hi, and thanks for tuning in to the Ethanol Producer Magazine video podcast. I am here live at the International Fuel Ethanol Workshop and Expo in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And for our guest today, we have Matthew Clingerman of Sulzer. Welcome, Matthew.
Thank you, Anna.
I think to start, Matthew, tell us a little bit about Sulzer. So they're known as a global leader in fluid engineering, but tell us about the licensing business.
Yeah, sure. As you said, Sulzer definitely is a leader in fluid engineering, mass transfer, and many other components, and certainly a long-standing support of ethanol and renewable fuels industries. But about 5 years ago, Sulzer acquired and really relaunched a licensing business to support not only the existing business, but also expand that portfolio. So we offer a number of technologies in traditional fuels, refining, petrochemicals, but also have expanded that portfolio to include decarbonization technologies that assist both refineries and traditional refining industries, but also plastics recycling, and of course renewable fuels, so renewable diesel and sustainable aviation fuel. And we support the full life cycle of the project, so from R&D, engineering, technical services, and startup and commissioning support.
All right, great. So Sulzer has introduced a pre-treatment technology for renewable diesel and sustainable aviation fuel. So what makes it different than anything else on the market?
Yeah, it's really a step change in technology, and it's something completely different than what most folks probably in this room or in the industry are used to. Historically it's been a physical refining process, so there have been a number of different steps pieced together that include degumming and bleaching, deodorizing. It uses equipment like centrifuges and bleaching earth, but we don't do any of that. So we just use heat and pressure to break apart the triglycerides or the oil molecules and the fats, oils, and greases, and convert them into a distillate-like product that's already similar to the fuels. So it's simpler process. It's familiar equipment for many refineries or others looking to build this technology. And we don't have any of the solids or mechanical separation that's often found in this industry. So it's really different than what's out there.
So interesting. So you said it can handle a wide array of feedstocks.
Yeah.
How can it do that and still meet the quality requirements needed by the fuel producers?
Yeah, good question. There's a lot of feedstocks out there that are being used to produce renewable fuels. Certainly distillers' corn oil is one here, but a lot of waste feedstocks like used cooking oil or tallow are also really interesting because they're lower cost and lower CI scores and things like that.
Yeah.
But they're similar in nature. They're all fatty acid based or triglyceride based feedstocks. They contain certain contaminants that we also want to remove. But when you put them at high temperature and high pressure, everything cracks apart. And so it all breaks down in a very similar manner. And we can achieve very similar specifications of the final product, regardless of what kind of feedstock, because we're using the high temperature to do so.
Okay. So how different are the pre-treated oils compared to physical refining? What does it mean? What does hydrotreaters downstream?
Yeah, sure. So from the physical refining process, they're not doing any conversion of the materials, right? So it's still a triglyceride or a fatty acid into the pretreatment, and it's a fatty acid or triglyceride out of the pretreatment. So there's no conversion. You do remove some of the contaminants or impurities that are in the feedstock, but it remains largely unchanged. In our process, as I mentioned, we do a lot of cracking at high temperatures and high pressure, so we really are converting the feedstock. We're creating a process a product that is already part distillate. It's part olefins, it's paraffins, it's aromatics in the feedstock. So we've changed it. We've removed some of the oxygens, a lot of the impurities. So it's an entirely different product than what went in.
Okay. So what's the commercialization status of the technology or TRL readiness?
Yeah, sure. So we have a commercial unit, and that's what we were excited to be able to present here at FEW this year in the Biodiesel Summit.
Very exciting.
So we at the end of last year in 2023, they commenced the first commercial unit. It's here in the U.S. It's helping to support supplement the feedstock for a renewable diesel unit in the southeastern United States. So it's a smaller unit, but it is proving the technology. It's proving it works. So we have that commercial unit out there operating since then. So it's been very exciting to be able to have that and talk about it here.
Right, no doubt. So finally, who can use this technology? For example, can the Bioflux thermal pretreatment be installed prior to existing units that are either co-processing renewable feedstock or feeding 100% renewable feedstock?
Yeah, so even taking a wide variety of feedstocks, there's a wide applicability of it to the industry as well. So we find interest from ethanol producers that have corn oil that they would like to convert, refineries that are looking to convert existing hydrotreaters or co-process with traditional fossil jet or diesel in their units. And it allows them the flexibility to add more into those co-processing units than they would otherwise be limited to. So it's a big advantage in that regard. And grassroots facilities, completely new builds for renewable fuels, are looking for a simpler operation. It's definitely applicable to them as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
Very good. Well, this has all been super exciting, interesting,
Yeah.
Matthew. Before we wrap it up, is there anything else that you wanted to add?
No, I just want to say it's appreciate this opportunity to share. We're very excited about the pretreatment technology. We think it's advantageous for many of the folks in this room and others in the industry that are looking for a low-cost solution that's quite honestly easier to operate and provide some significant advantages. And if anybody would like to hear more about it, we'd definitely love to talk to them. So they can reach out to us at our booth here, or the website sulzer.com, and we'd love to share more.
Well, we sure look forward to watching what Sulzer does in the future. Matthew, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Yeah, thank you, Anna. I much appreciate it.
Hope you have a good rest of the show.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks. And to our viewers, thanks for watching. Until next time.